Hi, everybody. My name is Gaspar Anastasi. I'm blessed and honored to be here with you. I want to talk about something that was important to me, and especially in just in recent times, and that is the love of a mother. You know, I used to always think only that the father's love was the most important thing in our lives, and it really is important. But I failed to understand over the years about the lack of a mother's love. I had a great mother, and she loved me very much. But there was a time in my life that she wasn't able to be there for me. While I was in her womb, she had a mother that was dying, and she really couldn't pay much attention to me. In fact, she had a lot of grief and depression in her life. And whether you like it or not, or know it or not, what happens in the womb affects you as a person for the rest of your life, unless you let Jesus, who's the great physician, to come where he can go and no knife can go and bring healing to that. But just recently I was in Nigeria, and I was in my hotel room waiting for the next day and getting prepared for what I had to do and my messages that I had to bring. And God began to show me that there was a hole in my heart. And I said, Lord, I have a hole in my heart. I didn't realize it. You know, a lot of times we have holes in our heart that we fill with everything else but the very thing that we need. We fill it with busyness. We fill it with people. We fill it with other people's love. We fill it with material blessings. But no matter what we try to fill it with, we still find an emptiness in our life. And you know, for years I had this emptiness and never realized it. And when the Lord said to me it was a lack of a mother's love, I realized that it was something that happened early in my childhood, including being in my mother's womb. And my mother was a great mother, because when her mother did pass away eventually, she was there for me all the time. It wasn't a fact that she didn't love me. It wasn't a fact that she didn't even pay attention to me. She always did. But you know, very early in life, that was what was missing in my life, and it left a scar that I didn't realize that I was trying to fulfill. Maybe me even being married, trying to have my wife fulfill something that only my mother can give me. You know, sometimes we try to fill those voids in our heart with something other than the real issue of life, the real problem that can be resolved. So I opened my heart and asked the Lord to bring healing to me, and he began to minister in my heart and show me how much my mother did love me and how much she did care for me deep within inside. And where she couldn't, he then came into my life and he began to fill that void. You know, he's God, but he's also a father and he's also a mother. He's a father's love, but he's also a mother's love. And you know, wherever we're lacking from a father's love or a mother's love, we need to go to Jesus and talk about it and say, Lord, I have an issue here. I have a void in my heart. I need help in this area. You know, I did, and I cried out to the Lord during that night in that hotel in Nigeria, and the Lord began to minister to me and bring a peace into my heart, bring a sense of wholeness, and an awareness of how I used other things to fill a void that only he could fill. Is there a void in your life that only Jesus can fill? Are you filling it with other things? It could even be drugs addiction. It could even be sex or pornography. It could even be food. It could be a lot of things, other relationships. But whatever it is, be honest about it and ask the Lord to help you and show you what area that there is a hole in your heart. For me, it was a lack of a mother's love. She was a great mother. I can never talk bad about her. She was amazing. But during that time in her womb, because she suffered the loss of her mother, there was a lot of grief and depression. And so she had to not pay attention to me. And that was important. A lot of things start in the mother's womb. I don't know about you. What is the hole in your heart that you've been trying to fill with so many things? Take a time out now and think about that. And then ask the Lord to come and touch your heart and bring the healing that you need in that area. I tell you, it can change your whole life in a wonderful and blessed way. God loves you, and so do I. I'll talk to you real soon.
Has your marriage fallen into a full-blown wildfire? If divorce has been threatened or even papers filed, God has the power to restore what seems impossible. Maybe a revealed affair or a secret sin exposed, or other areas of breakdown have seeped into your marriage. With godly counsel, we can help you walk through the transitions and changes to resolve these issues, developing a closer relationship with God and with each other. It's never too late. If your marriage is unraveling, you can avoid ending your marriage. God has the power to bring reconciliation and restoration. If you and your spouse are struggling with unresolved issues or ready to call it quits, don't give up. Instead, give us a call. 239-244-3912 or visit us at breakingfreecc.com. We are compassionate and care about the destiny God has for you.